Okay, so we've zoomed in once again on where all the action is going to happen, and let's see what happens. I hope you've made your predictions, and we shall now see if they are correct or not. So first I'm going to try the piece of brick, and I shall put that in the flame and see what happens. Now this flame is orange in colour because it's not got that much oxygen going through it at the moment. So actually, it's still very dangerous, but it's not really, really hot. It's the sort of temperature that they would have had from oil lights and things like that during the time of the Great Fire of London. But actually, when your parents cook at home, you might have noticed that they sometimes use a flame out of their hob, their cooker. And that flame is often blue. That's partially because of the chemical that's used, but also because it is much, much hotter. Now, you might see that the flame has disappeared. In fact, it is still there, but it's gone blue in colour. And that means it is much, much hotter than it was. So I'm going to put the brick into that much, much hotter flame. You might just about be able to hear it. Every now and again we get little orange sparks. Perhaps you can see that the end of the brick on this side has started to go black, but it's certainly not burning. It's getting hot, but it's certainly not burning. So brick, and therefore most of your house, is inflammable, and you are completely safe. Okay, so because I'm not using that for a minute, I'm going to switch that back to a flame I can actually see. Okay, so that was the brick. Now let's try some plastic. Now my plastic has got a few little bits of paper on the outside, so they may actually burn first. But given this is the sort of thing that a lot of your toys might be made out of, let's see if your toys are going to be safe or not. So I can hear little crackling noises. Whoops. Okay, we've got a little bit of fire there, but I think most of that, yeah, it's perhaps the little bits of paper that are on there. So the plastic does burn a little bit, but not nearly as much as a lot of the other materials that we've seen. So I'm just going to make sure that stays safe and blow that out. It might have done it for me. There we go. So I'm going to put that safe over there. Now, glass is the next big one. Now, I know glass doesn't transfer much heat through it, and I think just like I've shown with the plastic, I'm going to struggle to grip the glass. So I'm going to hold it very carefully with my fingers, and I'm going to keep it angled up so the flame travels up the glass and not down towards my fingers. But again, I can certainly feel the heat of the Bunsen flame on my fingers. I'm definitely not going to test it with that blue flame with my fingers this close. And I can see that the glass is getting a few little darker bits on it. Perhaps you can see them with my lab coat, white lab coat behind there. But the glass itself, where I'm holding it, is still just as cold as it always was. And the glass itself certainly isn't burning. So just like the brick that makes up your house is safe, so is the glass that makes up the windows. I'll pop that down there, let that cool down. Now the last one I'm definitely going to use the tongs for, because this is this lovely fluffy substance. So remember, this is in chair cushions and sofas and things like that. If I pop that in the flame, this does something quite interesting. It does burn a little bit, but perhaps you can see that what's happening, it's starting to drip. So though it does burn a little bit, it will quite quickly put itself out. So that flame will slowly disappear. There we go. But what it's done is it's gone all drippy and sticky. So I'm actually going to struggle to let go of that. So the whole point of this substance, it's made with a type of plastic. So just like this lump of plastic was, but it's designed not to burn, but instead to just melt when it gets hot. Okay, so wouldn't be a good idea to sit on your sofa, but then I'm guessing you wouldn't be sitting on it if there was a fire burning anyway. You'd be well away, and that would be a very good idea. So you can see just how sticky that is, well stuck. So we've learned a huge amount from the Great Fire of London. All the materials that were around at the time were flammable, and all the materials that we've got today are inflammable. So today we are a lot safer, and I highly doubt we'll ever see the Great Fire of London happen again.